Hello everybody, welcome to another speedrun game against Roberto Silva, rated 1666. We get our King's Gambit. Will he accept? Yes, I like this. And then d6, opening up his bishop. We don't care. We're going to get our bishop out, coordinate on f7 in the future, prepare castling. We're controlling the square from his queen. We're going to win our pawn back one day, probably. He pins the knight and develops the bishop before his king side. Maybe he wants to castle that way. That's why he's prioritizing it. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I almost am, but not quite. Castling seems reasonable. Let's do that. And all he moved is a bishop, but we had a knight, a bishop, and castling, so it just looks nice for us. He puts his queen here, which aims this way and protects the pawn, but it seems awkward. It takes away the favorite square of the knight. I cannot condone this. I'm going to play the most principled move, which is d4, opening the bishop, controlling the center, creating a pawn duo. These two pawns are called the ideal pawn center. He now creates 1, 2, 3 units that all pressure the d4 point, right? But we have to ask ourselves, what happens if we kick the queen? If he takes the pawn, we take the pawn. Maybe it doesn't work because we're in a pin. Maybe it does. We could also do this if he takes a piece and we get a queen. He gets a queen. We get a piece. It's a little premature. Instead, I'd rather just ruin his entire construction with c3. However, I do like putting my knight there. But it does ruin everything he's trying to do, and that's good enough for me. Now his knight dominated, his queen, as far as I can tell, misplaced. And he castles long, but I like white's position a lot better. So I want to move my queen to get out of this pin. So I could try to move it this way. Opposite side castling. So this is going to be fun. So we know about the pawn storm. I say when you can kick a knight from the center, you should consider it, but he has a good square. A clearly good square, so we don't even bother. However, b4, b5 does initiate the pawn storm quickly. I kind of like that. Instead of moving my queen, because I don't care about my pawn, right? I could try to coordinate and win it, but I honestly don't care. Instead, I care about attacking him. And so, he starts his pawn storm, that's fine. I'm going to ignore him. If you push the knight and he goes here, he's trying to like pseudo blockade you. Not the best, but we're still going to go here. We still want our pawns to storm. We do want to open up our rook. And if we can play a5 before b5, then he can't even go there, and he has to go to a bad square. So he takes our knight. How do we want to take back? Well, obviously, not with the pawn. Although that's even playable, because king h1 and rook g1, you're fine probably. But I feel like on principle, maybe a rook or queen. I mean, I did want to develop my queen. I kind of like this square. Now this pawn's hit thrice. He can come in here, but he can... Wait, what did he do? Oh, I see. He wants to take, check, take my rook. But is this too fancy? It very well might be. Give me a second. Think, think, think. Check. So right now we're down 2 pawns, right? Well, really 1. But let's say I go to the side with check. And then I take the knight. I'm still in that predicament. Takes, takes. How bad is that, though? Hmm. Maybe we don't even react. I think that's the appropriate reaction. We move our queen, and we x-ray this. He has to move the knight, because we're blocking the check with our queen now. And he has to go back, like, wherever, and we can infiltrate. And yeah, he took a pawn, but now we're taking a much more important pawn, because his king is there. Huh. Clever move by him. I totally missed that. Whoops. Okay, he goes there. So I can definitely go here. He does have an escape square, but that doesn't mean it's not bad for him. So I'm definitely going to take it. Because even if you check and he runs, you kind of collapse his stuff. Material's even all of a sudden. And there you go. He can't take this pawn because it's defended. So it was definitely easy to lose there as white, but I think we handled it correctly. So now he goes back to the pawn storm, which is kind of slow, considering my queen location. I think I'm just going to go for it. Checks, captures, threats. This, if he moves his king to the side, I'm not convinced your bishop belongs there. So let's take here. Material's even. You see, we didn't even get our pawn back. We got two different pawns. So material's even, but I think my king is safer than his. I also have an outside pass pawn, so now if I trade everything off the board, I automatically win in a king and pawn endgame. So I'd much rather be white. Had a little scare for a second. I'm like, wait a second, did I just lose the game? But if you just don't panic, I mean, maybe you do lose the game sometimes, but if you don't panic and you stay calm and you try to look for like all the resources, all the options, you might find one that works, and I think we did. So the most important thing is keeping cool and not filling your head with the negative self-talk that has nothing to do with chess. Like, oh man, I just blundered, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's nothing to do with the game, not helping you find a move, not part of the process. Okay, he moves his knight. I mean, neither here nor there. Now if we go here, it makes sense. Do we have any good developing moves? I feel like these are also slow. Arc here, pawn here. All the energetic moves are like, eh. So maybe I mean, he's doing slow development. I don't know what he's going to do with his bishop. Maybe we also have to spend a couple turns getting our pieces out. I mean, it's not unreasonable to develop, right? However, I'm having a rough time because I don't want to. What's the most energetic way to continue? b5, bishop b5. So b5 with the idea of b6. Bishop b5, king over. What can we do with that? Nothing? I mean, you can go bishop a3 and try to like set up some pressure, but let's, if we push the pawn, the knight jumps in, hits the queen. It's a bit odd. I do want to push the pawn, but I don't like giving him squares. Let's develop. That way when I push, I can snap the knight off the board. And I'm one step closer to connecting my rooks. This move looks super weird development-wise, unless you realize we're going to push the pawn on the next turn. If you're not going to push the pawn on the next turn, it's kind of a weird place for your bishop, right? Agreed. He goes here. We're going to leave our knight here, right? If we want to develop our rook, we have this. Also, it supports the passed pawn. We don't really need to move it. I'm just going to blunt 12 points of material, or even more than that, according to my chess values, with just 4 points, or less than that. So now we get to go along our plan of this. But he tries to ruin it by flushing out our queen. At least we opened up our bishop, right? So now we have easy check. I think we're just going to throw it in and get the turn back. Material's even, but we have a couple bishops slicing through. We have a queen in his face. We have far advanced pawns, one passed. So I think we have what we need to win the game. So how does he handle this? Okay, he goes here. That's awkward. Disconnecting the rooks is super awkward. Why does this look so wrong? Okay, so immediately I can take here. So that's one thing that's wrong. Also, I can kind of just push this and this afterwards, which is super strong, but I think winning the material makes the most sense because it comes, I mean, it's free material. And I can even do e5 next, which is cheeky. You don't have to, though. Steam Deck update available. Or Stream Deck, I mean, not Steam. I never even really plugged in my Stream Deck. I got one for Christmas and then I never used it. So he goes here. I would love to checkmate him, but it's defended. Or is it? So what's the best move here, guys? Now, there's going to be two types of people. Three types. The first is going to retreat and lose an entire piece, and then lose the game. The second type of person is the one that loves giving checks. Ooh, checks, which don't do anything. The third type of person is going to try to force their checkmate in one. They're going to see he's defending it, and they're going to go, but wait, there's more. Boom. Remove the defender with check. He cannot take my bishop or he gets mated. He has to move the king, but it's probably mate no matter what now. So basically, he's going to lose the game now. So don't automatically move the queen. How can a 1700 take the knight and walk into mate in one? Is it beyond me? But now you can see how awesome that was. But the most important thing is to check with the engine. Did we actually lose the game on knight takes d4? Or was queen f2 actually saving the game? Let's find out. Okay, we do have one mistake, but no blunders, so maybe it was working for us. Let's find out. Development center prophylaxis. Development center king safety. King safety development. Okay, center development ideal pawn center. Lovely. So c3 is the best move, just stopping everything he's doing. So I'm glad I came to that conclusion. Center, defense, some type of force. It's forced because we have to defend it somehow, right? So b4 is the best move. Nice. But isn't this... No, that's not where he did knight e5 because we pushed the pawn. So if he tries it here, which is not where he did it, we could take with the queen. And then he loses a piece. So we went here. He goes here. We find again the best move, pawn storming. And now he did it? No. Okay. Okay, he took first because he wanted to remove the defender. You are supposed to take with the queen. And now he did it. And it is his best move, but so white is plus 0.8, almost a pawn better strategically. Even though we're currently down a pawn, the evaluation is we're up a pawn, which means we have two pawns of dynamic play, right? Get how that works? And his best move is to do this. Interesting. So we have two moves that hold the balance. Even if we take the knight, we're still better. I had a feeling that if you take the knight and go here and let him take the rook and then take this pawn with your bishop, with the rook defending the knight, I thought that maybe, even though he gets the rook, he's giving up a knight, a pawn, and some crazy activity on the f-file. I thought you might be fine, but I wasn't actually 100% convinced. That's why I didn't want to pull that trigger, just in case it was losing. So it's interesting to know that that's plus 0.4 if you do go down. So let me just show you, because you guys don't want to follow in your head probably, right? He takes your rook. Now your knight's hanging. So if you take here, it defends your knight, or if you just develop your knight and say, hey, your queen is kind of trapped, but it's hard to tell from afar. Does this actually work move by move? Can he do something? Like there's always potential moves that you never expect. Although I guess here he doesn't really have much, but in any case, you just gave up a rook. I'm not trying to mess with that, unless I had to. So I was looking for more resources, and the other move I was considering is actually the best and a little bit better than queen f2. I saw we can give this check, but I thought if he just goes over. Oh yeah. Why didn't I just do this? Because his knight is we don't like we're not taking it. Do we just take the pawn? Did I not think of this? I don't remember what I thought. Yeah, this is obviously just good. Now you have an X-ray. You got your pawn back. His knight. If you don't take it, he never has the fork. Oh yeah, you could have done this. I forgot what I was calculating then. Anyway, so I did look at Queen H3. I must have looked at the wrong line though. And then I settled on this, which is second best, or actually it's tied for the first, whatever. And I really like it because once I saw that it X-rays this pawn, then I really caught my eye. I'm like, ooh, this is very easy for black to go wrong all of a sudden. But if I'm being honest, this move caught me by surprise. So he goes back and now he's losing. So you see it was super clever. It was his best move, but since we slowed down and didn't panic, well, I mean, we did panic, but we still slowed down and thought it through. We found a decent move, and he immediately blunders. So he has to move his knight, right, because it's hit, but you're supposed to go this way. Now, although this looks like it defends the pawn, we would have wanted to kick the knight to get in again. But maybe this was his best square because if you kick the knight, he can hit your hanging bishop. Maybe you don't have time to take the pawn. And then maybe you don't get it at all. So that's why it's only plus 0.5. But he doesn't do it, and that's the only move for plus 0.5. Everything else is losing. So it's not so obvious. But let's take a look. He goes here. If we do kick it, knight a5, or just like I suspected, either move hitting the bishop. Then you have to react to that because this is not actually a mate threat. He has an escape square, so you don't have time for that. He'll take your bishop if you do. So you have to address the bishop, then he can address the pawn. So that was his only try. He fails to see it. Now we're plus 3, free stuff for free. Okay, check. You could also have gone a5 and just tried to bum rush that pawn up the board. But this is also forcing. You also win more material. You have a winning position. I like this version. And now best moves. Best move is a5. So this is our one mistake of the game, developing instead of playing a5, a4, a3. Oh, I'm doing it upside down. a5, a6, a7, a8. That's true. There's nothing stopping me from promoting. It's also protected by the rook, so I could literally just run it up the board, and he can't stop me. Whoops. I said I wanted to push these at some point, and then I forgot about it and started to try to attack his king instead. But you see, because I hyper-focused on the king, I missed winning opportunity. So we use the attack on the king to gain other assets. You don't have to keep in like hard focus what you were looking at before. So that was a little bit of tunnel vision on my part, granted. Okay, so development with the idea of b5, not the end of the world, because I wanted to attack his king. And now, improving a piece for free. Well, not for free, but improving a piece. Force move for free. Free stuff, plus 4, and it's for free because we have a mate threat on the board. He walks right into it, mate in 4, and mate in 2. So he was getting mated no matter what he did. So it was actually a perfect game other than this bishop mistake, which is interesting because it was kind of chaotic. And making only one mistake isn't that bad. It's actually pretty hard, especially after that surprise. To psychologically remain intact after falling for that or overlooking it is not easy. You know that if it happens to you in chess, usually when that stuff happens, people immediately collapse. So I'll accept one mistake. It was a decent game overall. But you can see how, look, just push the pawn. It's so simple, so straightforward. And even if you said, okay, I'm going to stop it at all costs with black. How? With what? Like, you just can't. It's pretty funny. Okay, cool. So anyway, interesting. Was this King's Gambit? Interesting game. Yeah. Good luck in your chess. See you in the next one.